Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Good Wednesday to you. Happy hump day. And we're going to hump the hell out of this day because we got one hell of a match coming up today. Not actually only just one match, but we got all the matches today that we could possibly hold and handle and want. Starting off with a 4 p.m. Pacific, Maryville versus Minnesota. Should probably switch that little overlay right there. Give me just 1 second to make sure we got all that correct. Guess what? Not all of us are perfect at production. There we go. Minnesota versus Maryville coming up right now. And then we have San Jose State versus Cal State Long Beach. So just a bunch of headhunters and goons that are going to be playing today. But just want to welcome you guys into the Collegiate Star League. Today is Wednesday, so obviously it's the CSGO day. My name is Cheesehead Logic. I am the production director for the CSL. Tonight we have Crackshot, unfortunately out. He is not feeling well, so if you guys see that Twitter over there, be sure to tweet at him, give him some well wishes, and hope he gets better and is able to come back fresh, ready, and healthy next week. And I think True is out trying to be an esports Jehovah's Witness somewhere up in Toronto. So we're a little bit short-handed this week, at least for some of our CSGO broadcasts. So just hopping in and filling in for the day. Hopefully I can hold it down for you guys. Just, send me your energy, get that CSGO spirit bomb going and throw it my way. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this. Now, at the moment, I see most of the players are just about logged on and ready in the CVO server. All of Maryville is here, and really, I feel out of place right here. I feel really out of place just because the fact that I'm in a CSGO broadcast and I'm saying Maryville is playing. Now, for those that are unfamiliar, Maryville is a team that has been very notoriously known for being a League of Legends team, and they've been one of the best programs in the nation year after year after year. If I'm not even mistaken, I can quote-unquote accurately say 2 titles. I know some people, some people like to distinguish titles and names of leagues in different ways, but they are champions, at least a couple times, and overall just outstanding performers, and one of my favorite teams in the CSL over the past years, just working with the players and working with the administrations. They've been really good to us, to the CSL for everything that we've done in terms of coordinating, so always have a great place in my heart for Maryville, but it really feels weird seeing a CSGO team here because this is their first year here in the CSGO division. And I had a second to talk to Toxic right before the match, and I just asked him, like, dude, like, what's going on with Maryville? Like, how can today and this season distinguish you guys away from the League of Legends side? And the best way he described it, he told me, we're different from the League of Legends team because we're all homegrown and all freshmen. So if you're not familiar with Maryville, they did get some mid-year transfers and some college career transfers for their League of Legends team. They weren't exactly always able to build it up right from the ground up on the freshman side. He continued saying, and we have the same goal as the league team, and that is to be the best, and we want to work to be in the top in all the other games too that we play. And they actually do play Hearthstone as well. I guess we'll check that out. And it's kind of fun to watch the Maryville team in different teams because they have like some kind of intertwined connection in some way. Like some of the league players are on their Vainglory team, some of the Vainglory players are on the CSGO team, some of the CSGO players are on the Hearthstone team, so they're kind of like mixed matched all over the place, and they're really interconnected, so it's kind of really cool to see. But as I continue on in all the other games that they play, including Hearthstone, and everything else is still being figured out, but CS is definitely where their head's at. So, but yeah, the big thing for them is they're homegrown, they're freshmen, and they give a shit about CSGO. Like really, and they're off to a hot start. They're off to a hot start. We look and see they're 32-9 within the first 2 maps, and I think that was on Nuke and Cash, and that was a 16-7 victory and a 16-2 victory. That 16-7 was over Wisconsin, and the 16-2 was against Nevada. Big performance actually in that first week for Sodium Squared. He had a 31 bomb, so that was pretty, good ups to him. So we expect to see him, come out strong. But overall against Nevada, they performed as a team from the looks of it and got the victory quickly. Now, we got another team here, and these guys have been around for quite a while. And before I continue with them, let me actually message the teams and tell them just like, you can start whenever you guys are ready. I forgot. I'm just like talking to like if the CSGO teams are ready to go and they're waiting for me, that might be not good. So feel free to start whenever you are ready. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out on them. They should be starting here momentarily. I see 9 out of 10 players, so we might be waiting for one more player. I saw something in chat like Sync is asleep, so we might be we might be playing a 4v5 here. Who knows in the short term, but you know, all jokes aside, hopefully they'll get connected pretty quickly, so we don't have to wait too long for them to start. I know you guys are being very patient and waiting to start. Now, looking at Minnesota, they've been a team that has actually been around the Collegiate Star League for a good 3 years, probably, I want to say. And they've actually performed really well because 2 of the teams, at least up in the north, in terms of the United States, that you look at year in, year out, that perform pretty well and consistent in terms of status, Minnesota and Wisconsin, those are the 2 that really stand out to me. And Minnesota, always, you know, pleasure to see them compete. But a little bit of a change has happened, you know, with some of their rosters and what they are doing. And maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that here in the closer part of halftime because we have game time, boys. Game freaking time. So we'll talk about that as we get into it, but knife round begins. It is time. The Gophers versus the Saints, technically. Let's see what we got here. Let's see who's got the bigger blade. Who's got the bigger E-blade. And so far so good. Looks like Maryville's going to slice down and gang up on some of these poor Minnesota players, and there we go, cleaned up really nicely. 4 players stay alive in the knife round. That's kind of a little bit brutal. You'd hope a little bit more of a fight, but we're not going to try to read into that too much just yet. All right, let's head back to talking point of Minnesota. When I asked Minnesota sort of a similar question that I asked Maryville, I said mainly their team is also a lot of freshmen, and the priority is to practice and scrim as much as they possibly can, and also they're trying to, right now at least this year, host as many IRL events, IRL in real life for those that aren't familiar, events, just to get people motivated and to come hang out with everyone. And for those that are familiar, they kind of had a little bit of a rough finish to last season. They started out really hot, 5-1, and then in the spring they eventually finished up like 2-3 or somewhere along those lines, which unfortunately didn't allow them to qualify for playoffs. And after that, they sort of disbanded at the time. So this year they're looking to get better results, better finishes, and overall just better performances. So GLHF has been said. We are on Overpass, and I hope you guys are ready. If you get a chance, be sure to, you know, tweet out the link, twitch.tv/CStarLeague. Let all your friends know. Tag Maryville, tag Minnesota. You know, if you feel like even tagging me, you know, I will tag you back if need be. But, you know, here we go, guys. Round 1 out of 30. Who is going to take it? Minnesota, Maryville. We are underway, and we got a little bit of an interesting split right now going on. JJS from Maryville going on the T side. He might be introduced to Sync, and he does indeed. On the Maryville side. Meanwhile, out of Connector, they're coming back down towards B side, but already we do have Psycho keeping an eye out on them, and then with some help most likely over with a rotate, but they're having a small opportunity right here to sneak into the site and get a plant off. And Psycho is really the only one that can defend this properly at the current moment, and he has to back up. The T's get on site, and now here comes a big rotate. And so they have a lot of time to work with, but they're going to have to coordinate this carefully. Top and Evan smoked off, and it's not going to be easy until that smoke is down. Psycho looks like takes out Bueller. Sick falls down, and now it is a big 5-on-2 coming out for the CT side, and they're just mowing down people. Maryville down to 1, gets 1 trade. Can he get 2? Lock, not always the easiest thing to control right there and get good shots off, but eventually it looks like, in fact, Minnesota does clear out, gets a little bit of a friendly knife at the end as well, and Minnesota takes the first round. It was close. I mean, Maryville got onto site. They had a small opportunity right there in the 4-on-1 situation, but eventually, I want to say nice patient retake on the side of Minnesota rather than rushing or hopping out of the smoke and maybe getting picked off one by one. They sort of flooded out all at the same time and were able to move on site and get the numbers game going in their advantage. All right, round number 2. Here comes Maryville coming down Connector, and who is watching that right now? Owen is probably the closest one to it, and he might be greeted. So is Chance right here as he's sitting in bathroom. Can he hold it? Looks like he's holding it down so far. Gets 1 kill. Will he be able to get a second one? Nice Glock shot as well. Now it's going to be up to Chance to try to hold this down a little bit longer. 3 go down for Maryville right now. And Chance could maybe get another pick off. 51 HP down on AM, and all he has is death in front of him. And now it's just down to Bueller. I mean, nothing too unexpected, but he ends up falling, and that is going to be round 2 for Minnesota. Reading chat sources say Sink just woke up. Say, hey, sometimes when you're in college, mix it up. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Sometimes you got to turn up on a Tuesday night to be able to come into Wednesday, getting, fresh energy, relax, hungover, whatever the case is. Obviously, I'm not encouraging this. Not encouraging this. As somebody that's come from a big party school at CU Boulder, I'm not going to encourage this, but, it's a time to experiment with things, So sometimes, the Tuesday, Wednesdays, you got to get turned up a little bit just to be able to, get through the rest of the week. Change it up, mix it up, and just like Maryville, they kind of mixed it up, sent all 5 right down to B, crawled up, got the first hit, and smokes are all over the place, getting the plant down. And once again, Minnesota is in a scenario where they have to retake B, but this time around, they don't exactly have a great numbers game going for him. On the backside, Owen is going to try to take it through connector into water over here and see if he's going to be able to do something. Sink picks off AM, and now, Owen's got to be careful. There we go. He hears the footsteps behind, but only trades off, and this is going to be big. 3-on-2 for a temporary moment right now. Smoke is down. Is Sink going to stick the plant? No, he's not. JJ is going to try to get everybody down, but not able to by himself, and Sink eventually gets on through. We'll get the defuse with the kit, and that is 3 rounds for Minnesota. Well, so far so good. First 3 rounds going to Minnesota. A little bit of a big buy from Maryville right there in round number 3 and not able to do anything. So they're down back on an eco. We're going to have to see if, Minnesota can capitalize on maybe another 2 to 3 rounds before Maryville can recoup. This time around, just because of the gun disadvantage, they're not going to head down A. Few players playing up connector, going up water, and they're going to maybe look to move kind of fast here just to get maybe a numbers game advantage. Z-Roz hears them moving around, almost threw a nade, gonna pull it back on that, and also moving down towards the backside over here. Psycho keeping an eye out, making sure nobody can get on site. And this is just tough right now. They're trying to make a move. I don't know, do they have many nades? Only 1 smoke and 1 flash, and that's currently sitting on AM. He's gonna throw that flash out. Sink mows everybody down. Start the lawnmower. Does some good work, and the bomb is down because of that as well. Tough position the rest of the way. Bueller sitting at the bottom of connector. Gonna be looking to potentially maybe get a pick off here and there. I mean, the best thing he could do right now is hopefully at least get 1 gun off of them if possible. But it's looking like another round that's going to be going in Minnesota's favor. And indeed it will. There goes Bueller. Good round. Take a look at the econ right now. Minnesota looking really healthy right now. Almost the whole entire team has kits. Really balanced team play as well. Don't see many deaths, and Maryville kind of opening up a little bit on the rough side right now. AM and Toxic are sitting at the bottom. They're going to have to pick it up. As expected, Sodium Squared, the leading fragger for them for the time being. Might see a little bit of a battle here between Sodium. Shots will definitely let Owen know about this. And so we'll see if he actually ends up taking the battle. But this is what I kind of like seeing right now. From Monday's matches, we really saw different and various types of play styles where obviously 2 teams that were 0-2 ended up getting victories and maybe even considerably upsets with UT Dallas over UT Austin, and then as well as San Diego State over Grand Canyon. But, we saw more of this Grand Canyon-esque playstyle that Maryville is doing, a little bit more willing to take sites a little bit faster on their T side. They're not exactly playing like UT Dallas where they patiently waited along a lot of the time and just really worked the clock all game long until they could get about as much information or pick-offs as they felt comfortable before they made a move. So this is probably the first round where we're really seeing Maryville sort of take their time, try to get better positioning. Owen's going to be big on him right now to spot maybe one of these players if they come through bathroom, and as the others are kind of jiggling around connector, he might find that opportunity. But as we see, other than that, only really Bueller sitting on A site right here, distracting chance. And with that smoke, that might draw the attention over there, opening up an opportunity for the rest of the players that are sitting in connector. And oh, great play right there from Sync to spot the players coming down from connector, and that's going to cause a interesting little fight. He does end up falling, but it's going to be up to Psycho to be able to hold down the site. He takes down one, he takes down two. Can he get a third and clean up this round? And he will indeed. Beautiful play right there from Psycho, holding down the site. Props again to Sync for gathering that information, setting up that defense. If Sync did not see them come out, obviously you could have heard the door, but you wouldn't have been able to tell the numbers that were coming down with him. And I think somewhere back on A side or somewhere on the other side of the map, we did as well have another death that we couldn't keep tabs on. Round 5 for Minnesota coming up right now. Maryville on the back foot. What are they going to be able to do? Ecoing now. A couple CZs. P250. Deagle. Owen already disabling a little bit of those issues right there. And as they try to come down connector, they do manage to get Owen. So that's a good start. They're going to be able to pick up a rifle right there. But right behind them is Sync coming up, cleaning up a couple more players. The trades are still going in favor of Minnesota. But Maryville now might have an opportunity with 2 rifles on them. If they take the correct battles, they're going to be looking alright. We see right now that Chance is sitting back on A site as well. He's got a little bit of support with Psycho. Meanwhile, all by his lonesome is Xerox. Zeraz? Zeraz. Why can't you guys just have like easy names? Like Cheesehead Logic. Like that's so just easy, simple. It's long and annoying, but like at least it's simple to explain. But here we go. We got 2 players coming on to A side for Maryville, and is that a collat? Is that a collat? Chance, did you just collat them? Mom, get the camera! Mom, get the camera! Oh my god. I think that was a collat right there. Caught the other one through the wall as well. Wow, what a play right there. That's big for Chance as he goes up to 11K for the game right now. Big defenses on A site right now, and if you're Maryville, I don't really have a great solution for what you do right now. I want to say maybe try to take a chance with rifles and push one site, or you know, work the clock. Once again, they've had the most success right now trying to enter towards B site, and there is a possibility that they could continue to try to re-enter there, at least on the backside, but for the time being, it's tough to say really what to do, as Minnesota has had a really nice grasp on CT side, controlling connector, controlling A site, and then as well getting the rotations down to B when they need them. And so Toxic though does manage to get a little pick off over here, and that will maybe open up an opportunity. And this is a little bit chaotic right now for Minnesota. They lose one over at long A, they lose one over by connector, and the remaining 2 players have to wonder now where the hell are they going to come from, because really right now it's up to Maryville, you know, where they want to go. The world is sort of their oyster, and they don't have a lot of worry in the world in terms of how they want to retake it. Both players have ops, so there's a little bit of danger in that, but you know, if you push them together, an op can only shoot 1 bullet at a time. It can't exactly spray 5 people down as quick as you think. So, we'll see here how Minnesota ends up defending. And they decide to end up going to B. They smoke off Psycho. Psycho's going to sit in the smoke right now, so keeping really close to the rifles might not be the best option. And through the smoke, gets picked off. Not sure if they saw the barrel of the gun on the opposite side, and additional shots keep picking people off. And at this point, if you're a Chance, you might as well just save the op, really, unless you think you have enough econ where you can start trading for as many players as you can. But at this point, I think that's going to be the choice. You look at Chance, he's got over 10,000 right now, and with some additional money maybe waiting for him. Pulls out the pistol for close range battle, does end up taking 1 out, almost ends up taking the 2nd out, but Sodium Square turns around and helps his teammate. First round in the books for Maryville. Round number 8 underway. Minnesota. We'll see how they respond to losing this first round. Maybe this is the momentum opener for Maryville after getting that first round. Maybe a little bit of a battle coming up here in connector as we see Owen gonna try to gather as much information. If he just hopped up, looked over that window, he'd see that 3 Ts are waiting for him on the other side. But there's a chance that Zeroz might see them as well. He does spot one of the Ts, and he'll pass that information down to his teammates. Owen still has to be a little bit careful there, as it looks like Sodium Squared is waiting for him on the other side of connector. You might have additional support as well coming up through here, and this is about to get really chaotic for Owen. He's got to defend at maybe 2 to 3 to 4 different angles, and he sees somebody at the window right now. He's going to try to spray, but there comes Sodium Squared to help and support his teammates. Good play right there from Maryville to hold it down. A little bit of spray from Toxic right now, trying to get a little bit of opening of some sort over against his opponents. And you could see this Minnesota scrambling a little bit. Gonna scramble just a tiny bit to figure out what in the world is going on. And back down connector they go. And let's see, can Psycho get a pick off right here, or is it going to be up to Xerox right now to Zerozer? Can he hold it down? Oh, Zeroz takes the first bullet. AM picks the top side off. No more big ops to worry about. Psycho's getting burned down to 26, so he's even less of a threat than he was before. Both players rotating back up to A just to get out of the way, and I think now they might be actually seriously considering saving, as it's a 5-on-2. Not great numbers to work with, even though some of the HP has been ticked off a lot of Maryville's players. This is another round where they're confident they've taken B, and they look good, and so you know, this is the question. I think they're learning as they play, and even through the initial first couple rounds that, you know, not even the first couple, the first few rounds that they lost, they ended up getting onto B side pretty easily, getting the bomb off, and you know, if they can actually get some good trades and get some good positioning, I think this is a site that they should probably continue trying to meta and sort of trying to pick off on as the rounds go on. It's just right now it seems like A and, you know, going through the upper part of bathrooms and connectors not the greatest option for them with Owen, and then you got obviously Chance sitting on long A site and Psycho as well with that support. Just there's just a lot of support on A side, and they're holding it down really well for the time being. Interesting to see a little bit of a hard A push coming out from Minnesota side. Sync going to be going over to try to help Owen. Nobody actually this time around really controlling connector side too strongly, at least from the inside out. Everybody's positioned towards the back of sites. Psycho has the over support on Xerox. Meanwhile, we take a look and see Toxic is able to get out a connector to the close side. Nothing really spotted, while the rest are coming out towards the playground side. Oh, look at that! JJS finds Sync with an op, and now we might see a little bit of a movement or shift over on A side, but can Chance stop them? He's been holding it down on A side, and he holds it down once again. Manages to get one pick off. Will back off for the time being. Obviously, not exactly a pug where you want to keep dueling people on the A side unless you're really confident. So I think that's smart to drop back after that nice little pick off right there. Still, it looks like a lot of the focus is sitting, though, on A side. We do see some nades getting thrown down, but there we go. Once again, really doing a nice job of sort of trying to meta Maryville, or sorry, trying to meta Minnesota as they come down connector. And once again, Zeroz will have the great responsibility at trying to hold down this B site all by himself, as 4 players from Maryville just continue crawling on up. Zeroz, what do you got for us? How's your defense rating? If you're an NBA 2K player, what would your defense be? That's a 60. Let's move it up to 70 or 80. For every kill, we'll move it up one more. 70. Alright, you know, 2, that's not bad. That's not too bad. He was able to get up there and get it in. The bomb is down, and Psycho's down to 13 HP. A lot of this is going to come down to Chance and see if he could actually get something. He sees the little jiggle right there, tries to box him through the head, tries to box him again. Not able to exactly get the crosshair where he needs. From the backside, Toxic able to get a couple shots on him. Manages to also snipe Psycho, and then with a gorgeous headshot through the box, we see Toxic take it down Chance, and that's 3 rounds from Maryville. Man, Toxic turning it up and turning all of Minnesota into antimatter. I mean, like that was just That was a great shooting right there on Maryville's side. Well, a little bit of a different game than the first 6 rounds that we saw right now. An eco round is going to be taken by Minnesota right here, so we're seeing exactly what we see a lot of teams on the eco round do. They stack up as 5 and try to overwhelm, but nothing is more overwhelming than one bullet from an op, at least if you don't get legged. And so now we see a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a split up right here, and Owen does manage to get JJS, but it looks like the rest of Maryville is beginning to clear everybody out. That CZ has been just doing work all week long, and the final 2 players from Minnesota end up going down. You know, it's a fair trade. It's a little bit expected, I feel like, with the numbers game that they were working with. You're able to get 2 guns down. It sort of forces a few more buys from the Maryville side, but a lot of the players still have a great stable economy in front of them that didn't really stop them or affect them. So buys up from everybody now. Again, we take a look at the score sheet. Chance leading the way with 14, 8 from Owen, 7 from Sync. On the other side, Sodium Squared, Toxic, AM are leading the charge for them, but they're all pretty close to each other. Another really well put out team performance from Maryville. Not anybody sticking out in particular just yet, but here we go, coming up with a little bit of a B rush. Psycho gets taken down. Zeroz, what can you do, my man? Can you hold it down? It's going to be really up to you. Owen manages to grab one all the way from the connector side, and the whole entire side is smoked off. Do you enter the abyss? He hears the bomb plant. He's going to throw the nade. Gorgeous idea right there. Really pounds away at a lot of the players from Maryville and dips their HP down. Now it's down to 2 on 2, and Sodium Squared hold it down. No, he cannot, and JJS falls, and Minnesota, there we go, braces up a bit. Recovers the site really well. I still really enjoy that nade from Zeroz right there. Perfectly placed right in between the 2 Maryville players on site. Dipped their HP really low and made them easy targets to kill off. Zeros are heroes. Ah, zeros are heroes. Zeros are here. Oh, that's cute. Okay, alright, I get you guys. Alright, I feel you. I feel you. Well, round number 12 right now, 7-4 lead for Minnesota at the moment. Looking to see Owen and Connector. Might find Sodium Squared. Does see some shots. Kind of gets a little bit luckier right there. A few bullets passing his head. Sodium might catch a bit of a nade right there as well, and indeed he does. Drops down to 65. Heavy support on the long A side from Chance and Sync once again. They've been really working that. Either they've been sitting back and supporting each other, or Sync ends up really pushing through the bathrooms most of the time. Maryville obviously being aware of that and cautious to see what kind of opening they might have. And the Sodium Square pushes up and distracts him. AM comes down the stairs, finds himself Owen. And once again, Maryville has established that connector control in the mid right now, and it forces Minnesota to back up on each site and hope that they can gather as much information as possible. But what we've really seen as well on B-side, Zeros are heroes and Psycho. Usually Psycho moves down on the other side while Zeros really does as much as he can to hold down the site. Meanwhile, Sync has to come back up to A-side and help out as Maryville gets to enter. Wow, great shot from Bueller right there, catching Sync right there behind the truck. Let's see how quickly, or even if, and it looks like that will not be an if, they're backing out and saving their guns. What a quick entry. Great shots from Maryville's side. Minnesota will probably have to give up this round. At this point, they'll work the backside and of A and see if they can maybe get a little bit of some pickoffs. I don't know. At this point, is Maryville even going to bother hunting them? They don't hear. They don't see anybody. We have some traveling down through B, and it looks like we'll just, you know, we'll call a little bit of a truce for the rest of the round as Maryville will get their 5th. Well, as we get into the 13th round, I want to remind you guys, if you haven't yet, we do have a Discord community up and running right now. Type in chat !Discord if you guys are interested, even if you're a coordinator, a player, a fan. If you have any questions related to the CSL, need a contact point for admins or production like myself, join the Discord and just ping away at us and we will gladly help you. Or hopefully, you know, if you're looking even for stuff like scrims, that's actually been a really popular use right now. On the daily, a lot of teams looking to play each other in practice and get better, and Discord has been a great tool for that. Another great tool for right now in Minnesota has been the op, and might be the answer it needs to hold down B site this time around if they can. And you can see they've stacked it a little bit heavier this time around. They have 3 on site. We got Sync. Instead of backing up to A site, we see him now looking at B as a big contender, and Bueller's down here just waiting to see if anybody will comes on down. He hears the footsteps and the hops of Sync trying to get some scouting information. Sync's going to head back up while we see the rest going over to A side, so this might be a correct decision. Now due to this, we do see Owen sitting on the back side. He's not contending connector, and we do see Chance with the Deagle working up right now bathrooms to see if he could maybe get a Juan on a Juan off on somebody. Chance is just wondering. He hasn't heard anybody at all right now, and he's wondering what the hell is going on. Meanwhile, we have battles on B side. We have battles at connector. A little bit of a trade right there, 2 for 1, but the bomb is down, and Chance trying to position himself to defend that bomb position, and indeed he does. He gets 1, he gets 2. Can he get 3? Almost goes too big for his own good right there, but that drops the Maryville numbers and now gives Minnesota a chance on a what could be considered a bit of a semi-buy. And with the time running out, indeed it will go to Minnesota. Really well played by them. So that was a little tough for Minnesota. You know, I think Maryville had an that was a little bit tough for Maryville. They had an opportunity to push them, and unfortunately, just that bomb got caught outside of bathrooms, and Chance just kept stalling them up over and over again. They weren't able to make their typical move that we've seen over the past few rounds within the last few seconds. You know, just rushing out towards one side and getting a nice little plant off. Sync and Chance might find somebody as we see a nice little spread right here between all the sites. Sodium holding down connector. 3 players looking at A a little bit. Smoke off on bathroom gives them a little bit of an opportunity to hold it down. And the rest of the T's are going to be crawling up towards long A's site. Who is that walking up? That is Bueller and JJS. But, you know, really not crossing paths with each other. Sync, I think he might have heard them, so he's just going to head on back through the back of site to hold down long A. Chance is going to cover him with the op. And I think that's a much better position. Oh, they're going to go for a little bit of a boost. This is cute. This is cute. If they could find this boost or a kill right here, this would give them a nice little advantage in the spot. And look at that. Just like that, AM ends up going down. Bomb now is down once again and stranded in bathrooms. A really dangerous spot. We'll eat a little bit of a nade right there as well. And if I was Bueller and the rest of Maryville, it might be worse for them to head on back down to connector and maybe try to make a play at B. A lot of the rotations and a lot of players already on A side ready to defend. Bueller takes a couple shots, makes the CTs aware that they're right there. Sync actually goes down on site, so who knows what we'll end up seeing right here. Not a lot of HP left on Toxic either. Just a mow down right now currently of Maryville on site. Sodium squared, not enough ammo to hold it down any further, and there we go. Another round for Minnesota. Now, some people will say, I think, that Overpass can be a little bit of a CT-sided map, even though we do see the 9-5 score line. You know, a lot of people will say that this is maybe a little bit more of a CT-sided map just from the positioning aspect and the capability of having fast and quick rotates to support your team. If T-side doesn't, you know, really do a great job. Oh, what was that? Sync with bad intentions coming down connector ends up going down. This could be an interesting map, you know, in regards to the second half, because if it goes 10-5, we might have the capability or opportunity to see the same thing happen over here on when we flip the map. Zeros are heroes falls, and Maryville once again with the advantage in terms of the numbers. Gonna come down Owen right here, and can he hold the site? Maryville slowly setting up, but they haven't really fully committed just yet. So as they've set up all these smokes, they're looking to walk up that backside over there. Molly's off the side, spots him and sees him where they're at. 2 CTs are down over here. Trying to pull down the site. Psycho actually gets Bueller right here. Good shot. And it's it's going to be up to Maryville to see what they can do. They're holding down connector. They've actually really heavily backed off the site. I don't know if this is the smartest decision right now, but Owen coming off, goes down. Chance drops down with an up, and we're going to have some close range battles. Good shot on JJS. We'll throw a flash. If they're running out of time, they really need to make a play. Another beautiful shot from Chance. One more for the road. AM holding it down. One last player. It's going to be up to Sodium Squared. Can he do it? Or is it going to come down to Chance? Chance misses the shot. Unbelievable. Sodium Squared with a 9-6 half for Maryville. Unbelievable. How did a bullet like that not go through the body? Servers please. Sevo please. I'm kidding. But still, wow. Not every day do you see that. That had to be like a last half-second flick off, and it just, you know, the bullet just completely missed, maybe by half a centimeter. I feel bad for him. That shot probably should have hit. I mean, as somebody that generally likes to play with the opposite wall, I know how that feels as well. It makes me a little sad. It makes me a little sad. Well, halftime is over and ready now. We're looking to get into this side of the game. Maryville, Minnesota swapping, and Minnesota, let's see what they do on T side. They're moving pretty fast up A, and that's going to put some pressure on JJS. And he hears a lot of the stomping around, so he's going to back on up rather than trying to take all five of all five of Minnesota on. He's going to look to get some support, and we do see it looks like 3 rotates coming over and somebody coming from the backside of connector. A decent opportunity right now with the USPS. I mean, he's got an opportunity to maybe get some pickoffs right here, and a lot of Minnesota is just stuck and stacked up on each other. There's a lot of bodies to hit if he wants to, but here they finally decide to commit to come on site. 1 goes down, 2 goes down. Maryville managing to get on through, and at least on the defensive side. Let's see if they can continue that. Sync trades, and now it's a 2 on 3. Glock versus USPS battles, always really fun to see, but a 3-on-1 for Maryville, looking like it's going to be a victory for them. Only down to 12 HP, Sync with no bomb planted down. Looking to find some opening, ease up another small little tiny shot, down to 9 HP. Well, I mean, I don't expect him to be able to do anything right here, but managing to survive a lot longer than I would have anticipated, at least for the time being. This is just so cute. Everybody's just waiting as long as they possibly can, you know, to battle it out. Nobody wants to take a risk. Good on Sync to be able to at least get one more shot off right there, get another trade. But yeah, that's a tough one. When you have no HP and a Glock, you know, it's more than just a dream. It'll take a bit of a miracle to trade somehow magically in a position where you win that round. Well, as we take a look and see, Minnesota, Minnesota looking to take it up B side, but after Molly stalls them off and down rotate from Sodium and Bueller, they managed to grab one right now, and he's gonna get a straight rush right here, and I think this is just gonna go through the vacuum right there. not a great opportunity, and I don't know why Bueller's not taking this one off. There we go. I was about to say, I think you could probably fight that out a little bit more in the open with the guns that they currently have on both teams. And nice clean round right there from Maryville once again, as they bought up slightly just to be able to tackle Minnesota as quickly as possible. Yeah, that was actually, I mean, for what it was, as little as it was of a defense, it was really well done for Maryville. The Molly stalled them off. They down rotated and saw where everybody was at, able to get one little pick off, and that obviously reduced the momentum of the push. So good round from Maryville right there. Minnesota now on their final eco round of this the second half of the map. Before they get their guns, we'll see if they can come up with anything at all. Still a lot of semis right now for. Still a lot of semis for Maryville, so they haven't really bought up either themselves. So as much as it'll be interesting to see how this round ends up finishing up, because after this we should see two big buys from both teams. Owen manages to actually pick off JJS on site. Oh. It's going to be really big on AM to hold this. Hold the bathrooms for the time being. It's funny, they're just actually dodging each other just perfectly right now. Every time AM walks back up to bathrooms, Owen ends up walking out and back. And look at this! They're just continuing to dance on the outside of the bathrooms. I mean, almost unfortunate to an extent. I think both players just saw each other and trying to pick off a little bit. What is the skin on that gun? Is that Overwatch Diva? Is that the Overwatch Diva skin that we see right here on the CZ? There we go. Finally, Destinies meet, and still a better trade for Maryville for the time being. Back down to 4v2. Deagle, and looks like a P250 if I'm not mistaken for our friend over here, Psycho. Both players get cleared out by Toxic and AM. Good positioning for the crossfire, and that is another round for Maryville. And this is sort of exactly what I was talking about for the most part. You know, obviously the first 3 rounds can be very dictated just by the pistol rounds, so you know, it might not be too much worth it to read into it, but you know, already going from 9-6 to 9-9 really quick, we see a completely even game, and now maybe the momentum and advantage in Maryville's favor. But big buys from both teams, one up on each side, JJS and Chance, who we've seen opping all game long, looking to favor more towards the A side, but Psycho manages to get a pick off on JJS, so there goes one of the ops, and that takes care of some of the long range that Minnesota might have been worried about this game. We'll see if they try to recover that off. Maryville does end up smoking up. They really want to be careful with crossing that. Bueller ends up eating a bullet right there, dropping them to 68 through that smoke fire. 2 players, though, are in position. Sodium looking to defend anything that might come on site, and the backside of Bueller. Bueller, meanwhile, is watching his backside, making sure that nobody can come through the tunnels over here. And so, meanwhile, the Gophers, you know, they have all day, really. They got a minute left. They have an opportunity to do what they like. Sync might not be looking, though, in the right direction as AM comes across, finds his backside, and worse than a knife in your back, it's definitely finding a few M4 bullets in there as well. So now down to 4 players. What is Maryville's play? Or sorry, yeah, Minnesota's play. It looks like it's going to be over to B side. It's going to be up to Sodium Squirt to drop the initial one. He finds 1 player. Can he find 2, 3? Maybe 3. Oh my God, Sodium Squared, you are amazing. That was a Sodium Cube-esque performance. I mean, send salt to everybody. Send salt packets all the way to Minnesota. Shipping shouldn't be too expensive. You're only a couple states away. Oh, actually, is it just 1 state away? How far away is Illinois from Minnesota? Look, I'm an esports major. That's Illinois. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Technically, 2 states away. You got to get through either Iowa or Wisconsin to get over to Minnesota. So. Hold on. Actually, sorry. No, you actually do have to get through. No, I'm sorry, not Minnesota. Through Missouri, you got to get through Iowa over to. you got to get through Iowa to get over to Minnesota. So yeah, shipping rates of salt shouldn't be too expensive. All right, we're coming back into the game right now. Round number 20 as a 10-9 lead, and the first lead for Maryville all game long. Coming up for them, Chance will have to continue doing what he can to improve his chances of his team winning, as he's leading with 23. The next is Owen with only 13 right now, so very top-heavy performance for the Gophers. Good spray from Sodium Squared. Finds himself zeros or heroes. Another one bites of dust, and now with not a lot of options available to them, it looks like they're favoring B side for the plant, but they could always consider maybe coming back over to A. Pick off on A side on Chance, and now with the 3 remaining players, they really have to get something done, and I think at this point it might be just worth smoking off, getting on site, getting a plant, and going from there. But not even that's going to be allowed to happen. Good little CZ shot there from Owen. taking out Bueller. He'll be the last one. He might actually end up getting a plant. He's trying to hurry. He's trying to stick the plant. He knows he might not have time to survive with the CZ needing time to reload, and indeed he dies, but that extra bomb plant money might come in handy here in these coming rounds. Oh, the overlay on the bottom is wrong. Whoopsie daisies. Sorry. I just noticed that too as well, guys. I apologize. Here we go. There we go. Fixed. Minnesota coming up on the B side. Good nade coming up from Bueller, though. Oh my god, the amount of HP just dropped from Minnesota right there. Could have been one of the best nades of the game right there. And a lot of shots are coming through the smoke, but beautiful job on Minnesota's side of smoking off the entire site to try to get the plant. Battle and water and connector over there. Great job, though, from Maryville, doing a nice job of clearing out a majority of the team. Sink might be the only one left, and really tough position as the plant's going to be sticked. And he does manage just to get it, so now it's really going to be more to get across. Not enough time, gets shot down through the smoke because he thinks he has to kill the player that's defusing and won't have that opportunity. 3 more rounds go to Maryville, and while the first 6 might have gone to Minnesota, the first 6 on this half are definitely in Maryville's favor, and now we are starting to see... Now we're starting to see a little bit of a momentum shift. Or at least maybe just a battle between Sodium Squared and Chance. I know why some people might debate if Iowa is a state or not. I know it's just, you know, a bunch of landmass and real estate filled with cornfields, but indeed there are a couple esports teams between Iowa and Iowa State. So you know we do love our players from Iowa. You know, don't let these Maryville and Minnesota guys bully you guys. We love you. We love you all the same. Nice shot there from Chance on pick up. Oh my god, barely misses through the smoke on the backside. Sink does a great job of turning it around right in time. One more shot could have happened from Chance, but he does get support from Psycho. Back-to-back frags. Ends up getting Minnesota their first round of their T-side half. Really well played. Definitely much needed as well, because Maryville, if they managed to get that round as well, that really would have put the economy for Minnesota in dire straits, and we would have seen, who knows, maybe another 2 to 3 rounds before they could have really bought again comfortably. And by that point, as we've seen throughout the whole entire Overpass series, is once these teams fall back, it's pretty hard to come back on. It just, you know, any momentum that you might gather even on the later portions is just not enough. Zeros are heroes, working his spiritual senses as he walks through fire and coals. Still ends up going down. A lot of the rest of the teams are sitting over here on the B side, and Bueller not able to reload just in time to continue that battle. We do still see Sodium Square right here. Eats a bullet to the head in a big trade through all these flashes, and every time we rotate to a player, he keeps going down right now. AM, are you going to be next, or is it going to be you, JJS? As Minnesota once again has managed to find their way to the B site, and yeah, Psycho goes down. Op shots are not really landing for JJS this game, and it's going to be big on him. If he can find something, he knows he's got a player to his left side. They need to get on site and defuse, and it's going to be big for them to do something. But Chance with the crossfire manages to take him down. Sink on the lower half as well helps him out, and that was really well set up 2v2 on Minnesota's side, as we are almost tied up once again, 11 to 12, back to Minnesota. First time we're really seeing a strong A push, I think, the whole entire game. But due to the eco round for Maryville, they stacked B very heavily and worked all the way through it. Are going to walk back up through the backside. Meanwhile, Minnesota is just finding a completely open site, smoking, mauling off everything, and nobody. Look at this pre-firing and. I mean, Casper the Friendly Ghost right now is taking cover, but as for Maryville, they're going to have to come up through the backside and try to retake the site with just pistols. That's always kind of cute and fun to see. Psycho does spot them coming through the bathroom side. Already 2 of the players from Maryville falling down. It's down to Toxic and JJS. JJS actually does find 1 kill, but now it's just down to Toxic of seeing if he can do anything. Tries to get a little bit cute and self-boost himself over the top right there, but... not enough gun power. Owen cleans it up, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're tied up again, 12-12. We have a brand new game in front of us. Triple stack on B side for Maryville. I think this is a great decision right here. Sodium Squared looking to get the first pickoffs as well, but slowly zero to heroes, and the boys from Minnesota playing patient, not really keeping a great eye on the backside over here from water over into connector, but a few smokes here and there. They're going to try to set up a bit of an entry over here. They do manage to get 2 on site. Very nice job of getting on there. Zeros are heroes, cleans everything up. Will get the bomb down as well, and it is a 4v2 in just an instant. What is the option right now for AM and JJS? As the 2 players are kind of towards the bottom half of the scoreboard. It looks like they don't want to try to take a fight or risk it just yet. Obviously, we look at the economies right now, a very sparingly amount of money that we see remaining on AM and JJS and the rest of Maryville. They're almost back into an eco next round with whatever that they have, and Minnesota currently rolling. This is only really going to help their momentum. We'll probably see a couple more rounds out of them, so Maryville will definitely have to be a little bit on top of what and how they buy over these next few rounds, because it could be really consequential. We might even see it 14-12 in the next couple rounds in favor of Minnesota if they can keep this up. Interestingly enough, I mean, only really in CSL would you actually just come to think of it as I read chat. Only come to think of it, you know, this is the only place where you really will get to see these 2 teams match up. You won't see them in basketball. You obviously definitely won't see these teams play each other in football. But you know, from the sports world, these are teams that will never, ever shout out to Trillville, see each other, and so. This is kind of cool to see, you know, a team like this and a team like that match up with each other. Alright, and what do you got? You got to hold down A side all by yourself. Does a good job getting the first frag, trades out, but gets some help on the backside from JJS. Probably one of their better plays of the evening right now. And so by doing this and holding them up, they're going to delay the bomb plant, allow the rotation to come. But meanwhile, back in bathroom, Psycho taking care of business. Can he pick up one player from bathrooms? Indeed he does. Bueller also falls, and now it all comes down to Toxic. Can he bring the rain? 1 down, 2 down. Can you do it, my man? Oh, he spots Psycho. He sees the gunfire. He's going to be very careful. He still has a lot of time to work with. Sends over a flash. Psycho's going to do a great job of backing up right now and holding down the bathroom side. Picks up an AK, though. Can he trade well? Not enough firepower. And Psycho, with a little bit more accuracy, fends off the really heavy push from Toxic right there. Doesn't allow him the 3K or the round. And now, Maryville up 14-12. What do you do if you are Maryville? Yeah, it looks like they're going to hold off the buys. They're going to get a couple nades, some CZs, and see if they can maybe trade away some guns. But they're not going to put all their eggs in their basket this round. They're going to wait until next round potentially. And this opens up a potential 15-12 lead for Minnesota. Ops back on chance. AKs on the rest of the team. We have a 2-3 split from A to B. And we'll see what can Sync and Zeros or Heroes can do to distract or try to take away the numbers. Very heavy control right now of Connector though, so these rotations should come really quickly from Maryville if they manage to find everything. But as this battle continues on over to A side, this will draw a lot of the Maryville players over. Meanwhile, we see an opening coming out on B side. Nobody on site, completely barren and open. Here comes the plant. Meanwhile, Sync still over on A side, distracting and holding everybody down. The rest of the players will come on up here, try to spot and see if everybody that they can, but they'll notice that the bomb is not there. It is over on B side. This is just strategically beautiful. Beautiful tactics for Minnesota. The split works, the distraction worked even better, and now with not a lot of time left, we see a whole lot of Maryville players going to try to get the bomb if they possibly can. It's going to be a really tough retake for them, even though they got the numbers advantage. We see Psycho take one down, 2 fall. Plants coming up, not able to take everybody down, but now down to a 1-on-1, 1v2, and Owen clears everybody out. Great job from Minnesota to still hold on to that round, and just from a strategic standpoint, I think that 2-3 split worked beautifully for them. So it all comes down to this. If you're Maryville, you know, cross your fingers, pray, whatever you believe in, you know, summon Cthulhu, summon you know, Anders and Semler, you know, whatever you got to do to, you know, get your CSGO juices flowing, because really not a lot of options for them left. This is their last buy in the sense if they can't get everything down. Toxic, can you hold down B? Oh my god, server lag. That's not a great time to have that. Tiny bit of server lag. There goes Toxic, and Bueller as well on the underside. Stays alive, but already 2 of the players from Maryville going down. Bueller gets shot in the back, trades 1 for 1. Now it is a 2-on-4. Not a lot of HP on chance though on the upside. Sync goes down, AM gets him. JJS falls apart, and this is all going to come down to AM. Do you feel clutch? Do you feel clutch today? And not enough clutch in the system available, but Minnesota, congrats. After a solid performance from Chance, Psycho, and Owen, they end up getting that 16-12 victory over Maryville, delivering them their first loss of the season. Obviously want to give props to Sodium Squared. I think he did a wonderful job as well for his team with the 30 bomb right there. But that is going to be our first map of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that match as much as I did, but don't forget, hat hair. Don't forget, we are going to be back later tonight for another match on Overpass, and that is going to be between one of the, what we at least think is one of the contenders for the CSL title this year in San Jose State. They're going to be taking on Cal State Long Beach. One of the best probably West Coast matches that we'll see in the early portions of the season. So mark your calendar, go get dinner, do what you need to do, but come on back to watch that. But before we head out, just want to say thank you guys again for watching. I want to give a big shout out to Twitch, one of our partners, from PAX East to PAX West to everything that we do. They've helped us really develop the collegiate space. And so without them, we really wouldn't be here today. If you guys want to help or check them out, you can see their Twitch student program on Twitter, or as well, you know, just follow them on Twitter or Facebook.com. Give them a little bit of a shout out. Also in our info tab, if you guys scroll down on the page, you can see some of the links for Twitch student. Give them a little bit of a shout out and see what they're up to in terms of growing the collegiate sphere. As well, check out our Discord, !Discord in chat, and you will be able to join our Discord community, whether you want to set up scrims, talk to admins, talk to production, talk to community, or other coordinators, players, whoever from the CSL. It's a really easy one-stop shop. We're the past couple weeks, it's grown a bit, so if you're looking for opponents, you could probably find them there if you're having a hard time reaching them through Steam or through other avenues. In regards to everything else, guys, keep following our socials, twitter.com/cstarleague or twitter.com/collegiatecsgo for all the news and updates, and as well facebook.com/cstarleague as well. I don't think we really have that much else to really talk about for the time being. I really do appreciate you guys coming and checking this out. Obviously, want to give a big shout out to Crackshot. Hopefully he feels better. he will not be in for the rest of the evening, and as well, true, once he's done being a Jehovah's Esports witness, he will be back on Monday casting CSGO, so you guys won't have to deal with me. So for the time being, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in a couple hours for our next match, so be sure to come back, and until that time, hit that follow button, and I will catch you later.